So, Gwen Stefani is now in trouble with some on the woke left because she gave an interview to a very young reporter at Allure magazine. And in the article, the author of the piece, who says she is, I believe, Filipina, says that Gwen committed the sin of cultural appropriation. That Gwen, apparently a couple of years ago, went through a phase that the author refers to as, first she went through pop punk Stefani with baby blue hair. Then there was ska era Stefani with platinum blonde hair, a bikini top and cargo pants. And then there was Harajuku Stefani, Harajuku apparently being a district in Tokyo. And she says that she had launched this line of perfume not long ago that was taking inspiration from Japan's Harajuku subculture for its visuals and marketing. Okay, so far, she's not ripping her. She's like, I loved it. I thought it was really great. But then I never really spent a lot of time thinking about the fact that it was a white woman behind this Asian representation. As an adult, though, I'm coming to examine it. And I have not been alone. Then she gets into it. She thinks that was cultural appropriation. And then Gwen, when asked about it, tries to explain why she fell in love with this region and this culture and so on, and says, that was my Japanese influence. That was a culture that was so rich with traditions, yet so futuristic with so much attention to art and detail and discipline. It was fascinating to me. Explained how her father, who's Italian-American, would return after going there with stories of street performances and so on, and she finally got to go herself as an adult. Stefani, quote, I said, my God, I'm Japanese, and I didn't know it. Stefani, quote, I am, And she goes on to say, if people are going to criticize me for being a fan of something beautiful and sharing that just doesn't feel right. It should be okay to be inspired by other cultures, because if we're not allowed, then that's dividing people, right? And this author goes on to say, look, I'm not Japanese either, but I am an Asian woman living in America, which comes with sobering realities. Goes on to discuss all the sobering realities. She's been called racial slurs. Get over it. We've all been called terrible names. All of us. Even white guys like Klavan. They all have. But of course, she's got to lean into, well, all right. So now there's a whole thing about whether Gwen Stefani has really stepped over the line by saying, I am Japanese. No problem for Gwen Stefani to come out tomorrow and say, I'm a man. I'm a man. She could say it, no problem. But I am Japanese has caused the people at Allure to tisk her with all these experts weighing in saying she's culturally appropriated again, and they're angry. What do you make of it?
Well, it's hilarious. I mean, first, just taking her at her word, what she was saying made perfect sense. She went to this district in Tokyo that's famous for its street performances and people dressing up, and she's obviously someone who performs and dressing up. So she said, "Oh, they're me. I'm Japanese, like me reading romantic poetry and thinking, oh, I'm a romantic. I get it now. This is where I belong." Yeah. It's a perfectly rational thing to do. However, it's very hard to pinpoint what is the stupidest aspect of leftism, but cultural appropriation comes very close to winning the prize. Cultural appropriation is one of the greatest things about America and one of the most healthy things about our mixing in the world. When you come to America, if you come legally, our feeling is bring your food, leave the tyranny. You want to come from Mexico legally, bring the burrito, leave the cartels. That is absolutely a great thing about America. It is what makes America so great, and it's the only argument there is for having a multi-ethnic country. A multi-ethnic country is very difficult. No one has done it since Rome, and it really brought the Roman Republic down in a lot of ways. I'm talking about ancient Rome. I'm not talking about now Rome. So nobody's done this in a long time. This is a big experiment, and it might well fail. We don't know. However, if there's one reason to have a multi-ethnic country, it's cultural appropriation. And so we get all the good stuff and leave the bad stuff out by having an American culture of freedom and individual freedom and free speech and, limited power of government and all those things that people come here for, and the capitalism. But they bring with them things that are beautiful, their clothes, their styles, their fashions, their food. And if we want to take those and make them part of our clothes and our styles and our fashion and our food, great. That's a great reason to have a multi-ethnic country. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's one of the best things about America. And it really is the only thing that makes a multi-ethnic country worthwhile. So the left's idea is this. When Donald Trump comes along and says, make America great again, everybody says, oh, that's nationalism. That's terrible. He's Hitler. But when a Filipino woman says you can't steal, Japanese culture because I'm Asian and they're Asian and something, that suddenly is okay nationalism. So it really is only against the West. It's only against America. So it's really anti-Americanism hiding away in this, and yet another shocked moral outrage that the left has invented. But we shouldn't like make excuses for cultural appropriation. It is one of the best things about us. It's not a bad thing. Like, you could say if the left is fighting racism, you could say they're fighting it the wrong way, but racism is a bad thing. But cultural appropriation is a great thing. It's a positive.
It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's like somebody made a piece saying like big hoop earrings. Now that's cultural appropriation of the Latinx community. By the way, Sarah Huckabee Sanders in the news today for banning any government document now in Arkansas that uses Latinx. Go, Sarah, go. In any event, right, the earrings. I remember taking my kids down with my husband and my family. We were in the Bahamas. And back when I was at the first in the Bahamas, and it was like 1987, you got the braids. Like the braids was what everybody wanted to do. And the Bahamian women loved to give you the braids. You'd pay them. And it was a way of sharing cultures. Now it's like, oh my God, I was like, I don't think I can get the braids. And my daughter, I think of like, maybe she can have two. She can have like two. Maybe otherwise it's going to turn into a national news story when I'm like, what am I doing this stupid? In any event, Gwen Stefani clearly didn't try to misrepresent that she's in fact Japanese. She was saying obviously the implication was in my soul, I connected with these people and their culture and how beautiful it was. That is a compliment, you dumbass allure writer. It is not a Hilaria Baldwin situation, right? It's like she claims she's from Spain and she's not. Anyway, I think it's funny. If you're like me, you're growing more and more concerned about the future. The market's all over the place. Inflation, highest level in 40 years. Interest rates up. Market experts predicting recession and using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. Now, if you want to protect your future, you've got to call the precious metal dealer of record, American Hartford Gold. They can show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. All it takes to get started is a short phone call. And they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door, or even easier, inside your IRA or 401k. And they keep it simple. This is the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. And now, as an exclusive offer for my fans, if you call them now, they're going to give you up to $1,500 of free silver and a free safe too on qualifying orders. So don't wait, call them up now. Call 866-518-2955. That's 866-518-2955, or just text Megyn, MEGYN, to 65532. Again, that's 866-518-2955, or text MEGYN to 65532 and check them out for yourself. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.